Welcome in, renegades. Now, it's bloody in the streets, but it's not over yet. Nervos, Network, CKB. So, guys, this happens, especially when the market is fear driven right now. The macroeconomic factors in the United States and globally are definitely affecting crypto in a massive way. The Fed, talking very hawkishly about, the rate cuts. Even though interest rates did go down and it made money easier to borrow with crypto, so that people could borrow and leverage against those funds borrowed. It still seems like everything is down. So what I'm thinking is the cycle. I don't believe we're in a super cycle. I won't believe it until a super cycle is actually achieved. But what I think happened is a lot like with the 2019 crash that we saw. It changed the structure of the bull market, right? So with the halving in Bitcoin, normally right around 18 months after the halving, we see Bitcoin have its top. Now we normally see a sharp drive to that price and then a blow off top. Well, we stayed over $110,000 for several months, almost a year actually. We spent at those prices with Bitcoin. So that ended up in turn creating a different kind of cycle. Now, the reason that Bitcoin goes up 18 months after the halving is pretty simple. It's supply and demand, right? So it's basic economics. So essentially with Bitcoin, you have a 4-year cycle where the miners get, half the rewards every 4 years. So what happens is right away, you don't see that happen. The halving happens, and then like 18 months after that, we see a top normally, because what happens is the miners have less, Bitcoin to be selling at certain prices. And with the ETFs and everything, a lot of them were selling, at the top. And it creates this different kind of shift with all of this money in the market. So it's not just dictated by the miners anymore, like previous market cycles have. So what I'm thinking is we're still going to be in a 4-year cycle, because you can never get rid of supply and demand. You can never get rid of economics built into a, financial tool like Bitcoin, right? It's simple supply and demand. And if less Bitcoin can be sold, then the price can only go down so far. Now, this really affected altcoins because big money was really going hard into Bitcoin and Ethereum for now. As Bitcoin price drives up, that's why it's not over yet for altcoins, because as Bitcoin price drives up, there's going to be less profit and money is going to look for profit elsewhere. And I think our next bull market is going to be one of the biggest altcoin seasons that we've ever seen. I think we still have one more push, and I don't think it's over for this bull market yet either. I think that because of the ETFs, because of us staying at $120,000 for just about a year, above 100,000, I think essentially there was no capital rotation out of Bitcoin. There was very small pockets of capital rotation. We saw Zcash pump. We saw ICP pump. We saw Nervos make a little bit of a run for a minute back in 2024. But as it comes to the second part of the cycle, we haven't seen an altcoin season yet. And so what's going to end up happening is it's like COVID. So when we have small shifts, so everybody thinks when things shift, it's going to be a major, like complete shift. And that's not how the market works. The market will shift in phases. And when it comes to Nervos and CKB, there's going to be another run this cycle. So what happened is Bitcoin essentially made it to where the market is going to be extended by a certain period of time. I think it's going to be 6 months. Then we're going to have our bear market somewhere in the first part of next year. It's going to get smashed for now, because they want you to think that the market is completely over, because this is a psychological game and big money's in the market now. Big money controls the ETFs. It controls, those big crashes that we've never seen in crypto in one day. That crazy amount of liquid, I think it was 18 billion in liquidations in one day. We haven't seen an event like that in crypto until big money came in. Just like the stock market, that big money is going to control the narrative, and we can't fight the narrative. We follow the narrative. And so if the narrative is saying we need to wait and accumulate, and the market's going to recover, then that's what we're doing. And I want to talk about Nervos for a second, because yes, that's the state of the market right now. That's the reality of it. And I'm going to be going to these events, championing for CKB. But I just want to talk about a few things that CKB is actually doing right now. They're doing big things in quantum resistance. Now, I've actually been talking with some people like Jennifer Tran, doing things in quantum computing, interested in quantum resistance, especially in blockchain. But they are future-proofing CKB, and I don't even think it's future-proofing. I think it's just, basically safeguarding assets at this point in time, because quantum computing is making leaps and bounds in progress. So the Nervos leverages the NIST standardized Sphinx plus signature. It's a type of quantum resistance cryptography for its lock scripts. And so it's hedging against future quantum attacks. Its flexible cell model allows for the integration of post-quantum algorithms without needing a network hard fork. That's significant in the network, in crypto, period. We just had CKCon 25. This was I think it was like either in Singapore or Thailand. It was definitely in one of the Asian countries over there, but we just had CKCon 2025. I think it was in Thailand. The recent CKCon 25 conference showcased strong progress on tools designed and to enhance Bitcoin's programmability and scalability. Fiber Network version 0.6.1 testnet. This is an update to Nervos's Bitcoin-compatible payment layer, which functions like a Lightning network for CKB. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Fiber Network. I like that. So basically, it's there to reduce latency and fees for Bitcoin on layer 2, making it, low-cost DeFi for Bitcoin. Bitcoin Fi. Web 5 tools like a decentralized identifier toolbox. Pretty cool. I do want to talk about the DAO MVP. This is set to hit in mid-February. So this is good for the governance, the future, the scalability, and the growth of CKB. Yeah, I think that's about where we're kind of at with the news on CKB. There's a lot of good things going to be happening in the future. There's a lot of talks about where our next meetup's going to be. Guys, I want you to come to these meetups. See what crypto's like in person. It's so different than what you think. There's still, the crappy people, in crypto, but there's a lot of cool people, and everybody's super friendly and trying to do cool things. So as long as you, stick with the group of trusted, people and people and people they know, just very carefully add people to the circle. And that's the thing. You're there, you're talking with, founders of projects. At mining conference, we were talking to Six Figs made a video of a Bitcoin museum. There's just a lot of cool things happening with CKB and crypto. So guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm stacking up CKB at these prices. Will we go a little bit lower? Well, let's look at the charts. That's what we need to look at and see what is going on with the charts. And where could we possibly go, guys? Let's just go look at volume first. We always look at volume. Look at that volume. So sell off. People are selling a little bit, doubled in volume. Not quite, but almost doubled in volume. Yeah, there's just been sell-offs happening, 22 million right there. Look at that. So it's not just sell-offs, it's accumulation at these low prices right here. And then when the price goes up, the price goes back down. We were actually down to a million for a minute. The market is just going down. Then we see it double just about from yesterday, what I was looking. So things are actually, really, really bad in crypto right now. I'm not going to lie to you, but we are going to see an extended bull market. I'm sticking to that. I really believe that that's what's going to happen. On the 1 hour, we're super oversold. Look at how we're deep in the red. But as you see, the market keeps, kind of going back up and then pushing it down, going back up, pushing it down. And that's just because Bitcoin and the big money is still in that capital rotation. And everybody's fearful with the macroeconomic situation. So they're risking right now is what they're doing. So they're just taking their capital, they're putting it into bonds, they're taking their money, they're putting it into safe stuff. So this is the time to accumulate. When the whole world thinks that it's going to zero, when we have seen nothing but dumps, let's just look at the week. I mean, this is sketchy, but this is good for us who understand the market. Like these are the prices that we've always dreamed of buying our crypto at. So if you look at this, I mean, just remember, so when in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, we're at a low price. Look, it looks like a bear market already. It really does look like a bear market. So, but we have not seen, we're going to see one more big move to the upside. I believe like it could just be like every other cycle and we end right now. But I don't think it's over yet. I think we have a strong possibility when in doubt, zoom out, right? Remember before, remember now. So we never really got that, big second pump. This is just the retracement from the first pump. And then we're supposed to go up again, and we haven't because of Bitcoin in that capital rotation I was talking about. But let's just show you this. I'm going to just take it from the top of the candle to the bottom of this candle, and then you can see. So we have much room for the bears to get wrecked and for the bulls to start taking profit. The first one is almost at a cent. So when we start moving, look at this. We went from right here at about half a cent all the way up to 2.3 cents in a matter of a month. 1 month. That's all it takes to, how much money would it? So you would have 5x'd your money. So if you put 1,000, you would have made 5,000 in a month. So that's why, and imagine if you got in down here at like 0.23 and then it goes all the way up. What about if it went to the top of here? Like we're looking at 3.2 cents from 2.3. You're looking at like a 16x. So if you put 1,000, you're making 16 grand. And this happened within 2 months. 2 months, you would have turned 1,000 into 16. So what I'm saying now, it's time to start packing your bags. It isn't time, like I'm not even leverage trading right now. The market is just going down. And as soon as you say it's going to go down, it's going to go back up. So I'm not even leverage trading while the market's doing this, because we could have a rebound at any moment and then have it go down again like we've seen lately. So all I'm doing is when it does go down to these lower prices that we're seeing down here, I am accumulating. I'm doing whatever I can to get as much crypto as possible, and just stacking my bags right now. So now we're going to get into an area. Let's do a little bit of TA for a second. I'm going to show you, we actually have gone down from the top. How do I get rid of it? Okay, let's get rid of this. So I'm going to do a little measurement here from the very top all the way down here at 2.3. Whatever, right there. So we're down 94% Right. We're down 94% in 2 years. So when did that start? That was April. Wait, that's not even quite 2 years. Yeah. So like about a year, almost 2 years, like a year and 9 months. And we're 94% down. Why wouldn't you buy down 94% from where we were a year ago? We're down 90 and we go up. You see how long it stays down? So when in doubt, zoom out. It's time to understand crypto. You buy when we're down here, you wait for it to go up here, which it will for a very short time. As you see, it goes down for a lot longer, and that's why not a lot of people win, because you're going to sell somewhere over here because you bought over here. You're in the loss over here, like, oh, I'm getting out, and then boom, it goes all the way up. So it's not over yet, guys. This is just the beginning. I think we're going to have one more push, go back up, and then we're going to see, our bear market. We're in a bear market right now, down 94%. That's a bear market, dude. I don't know what else to call that, but a bear market. And so, yeah, it's time to start stacking our bags, start, collecting as much crypto as possible here. And let's look at the daily. I don't know if there's any actual reversal signals or anything. I think Bitcoin is going to go down a little bit more. I think we're going to reverse soon, though. I think we're at the lowest point we've been. We are looking at a test of this support right here. If this does break right here, we are going to see CKB go down to about 2.1. 0021 is our next stop. So that's where we're going to be going next if we do break down, which is another good buying opportunity. But again, we get these spikes right here. If you bought down here, you could even make a short term, like 30% off of that in just a little bit of time. So yeah, it's really cracking to buy crypto at these prices, guys. This is where we make the money. Run CKB. It's time to run. But yeah, the market sucks. That's why I'm concentrating, some of my interests elsewhere. I have an AI channel called Crypto to Cat. It was my cat's channel. Don't have that cat anymore. He got a little bit wild, so we had to rehome him. I couldn't give him the attention he needed. I love that cat. I miss him. But I work so much, and then to do my videos and travel, he just needed a place with more attention. He would get into things, spill his water, he would just go crazy when I wasn't home. So I'm always going to keep that name as a memorandum to my cat, Crypto to Cat. But that channel's doing really well. Maybe I'll go viral on there. We'll see. But I'm going to make a lot more crypto. I'm going to be back every Monday and Friday. I didn't want to make a video tonight just because I'm a little bit tired, but I was like, dude, I enjoy videos. It's not that much work. And I'm going to have Alan from QI on the channel on Friday for an interview. I'm going to start getting into other ecosystems, try to start interviewing other founders of other ecosystems. Going to try to dive back into ICP. I'm going to stay involved in CKB. I'm just going to make my presence elsewhere now that I'm established. I'm going to try to break into some of these communities, start talking about the cryptos that I think are the best, and start learning about more cryptos. And we're going to stick with our ICP content. We might do that like twice a month now instead of every week. And then we'll do our CKB content 3 times a month. And then we'll see where there's room for other videos, guys. So I think that's about all we're going to have for today. When in doubt, zoom out. You saw that within a month, you 5x your money, 6x your money. And that's going to happen again. There's no doubt. It's just, are you going to hold your bags long enough for that to happen? And so, yeah, touch some grass, do whatever it takes. It's horrible if you're losing money right now. Like, I know that feeling that you're just in the red right now, and in all that time that you waited for this bull market, they changed it. It's the psychology of the market. and we got to overcome and realize that, you know, it's about timing our trades. It's about putting money in when the market sucks, when everything feels like it's bleeding, and then just waiting for those brief moments that happen like once every 4 years, and then make some money. All right, guys, that being said, goodbye and good CKB. Bang!